She changed schools twice already. I think she just doesn't want to do it again. You going to Crowder?
Good for you.
Yeah, well, great.
7.
7.
I'll lower this thing for you. Okay.
You can hang out with my daughter. She's 13 also, but she doesn't go to Crowder. She plays cello.
Oh, really? Who was their teacher?
Kathy? Alan?
Oh, Kathy, yeah. Let's go. Okay. Bye, Eugene.
Bye.
You have to send me Sean email so I can text him for this summer.
Yeah.
For those 2 weeks.
Of course.
Okay.
Text me and I will share the
Yeah.
contact.
Have a good night and bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Tell me what you. Bye. Tell me what you did. I love that kid. All right. Did you look at? Oh yeah, of course you did. Well done. Why am I asking silly questions? Ellen. There you are. All right. Okay. Now, show me your setup now, and let's see if it's better than it was. You remember your problems? Good girl. Yeah. Cool. You know what? Not bad at all. Put the violin down and lose the shoes. Let's put you on that wall before you grow super tall, and then we will not. We'll just think, oh my goodness, how short was she?
She's been growing actually. She was really small for the last couple of years.
Oh, I can see that. And by the way, now the violin is almost too small because she is putting it to the neck. Because
And then we
before
stopped
she was
and got
holding
the
it right
thing
here.
too. You saw?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see where.
No cheating.
No cheating. Move yourself a little bit here. No, the other way. Okay,
At least there's
an
space
empty,
there, you know?
Yeah, there is an empty spot here. And this is like 1/20th of my students. But
As long as you're still at the top, Eugene, you're in good shape.
I'm not. This is me, and it says perfect height, easy. But I have quite a few of those overgrown teenagers. Move you a little to the left and stop stretching. Okay, step out. Step out. There you are. All right, Ella.
You should write it in Russian so she won't be able to find it.
And today we have May 19th. Cool.
No.
It's the 24th, I think.
I mean May of the 19th year.
Oh,
I don't put the dates, I just put the month
got it.
and the year.
Cool.
Okay, let's go, child. Let's do the setup again. You can put your shoes back on so your feet are not cold.
My feet are
Yeah, the head's supposed to be cold, the feet's supposed to be warm.
Yay.
Also, you know, we're not bringing the violin, but if you have any suggestions on good music to listen to or anything like that, we can always bring some music to cite, you know, to count, something like that.
Mozart, Brahms, Beethoven, Schubert. Okay, let's go. Who's your favorite composer?
I don't know.
Okay. Set up quick. Unicorn. Boy. You know, you're good. The only thing, which I didn't tell you yet, remember, we normally play with the outer edge of the hair, right? And I want this ear to be slightly above than the other. Other than that, you were actually quite perfect. Are you super smart or something? A super child. Take it down and try it again. By the way, never be afraid of making mistakes. According to my great-grandmother, who lived 104 years long, the one who is always perfect does nothing. Relax that shoulder and make sure that... Do you know what the shoulder blade is, child?
Sort of.
Sort of. Turn around. See right here, you have two big bones, right? Behind your shoulders.
Yeah.
I can tell you a million times to relax your shoulders and you never will. But if I tell you to drop the shoulder blades, shoulders drop together. It's like a magic. So I want you to make sure that your shoulder blades are down. Especially the right one. One more time. Okay. Actually, just maybe a little more. Remember bunny nose, the second finger. Is your shoulder blade down? Right, and the elbow should not go really drop. This is very good. Yeah, I have nothing to fix. That's the first time in many, many years. Okay, relax a little bit. Do this every day. You don't have to do it too much, but I want you to get to the point where it doesn't matter what you play, doesn't matter where you play, whether you're with Rem or you're at home or with Sean, or if for whatever reason sometime in the future you would want to join crowd. And that's the scariest thing about the crowd, and because if the kid is not perfectly set up, they play for so many hours there, right? And it's one thing if you're in my technique class, and I can, or Hageness, we basically take care of each other's students like our own, and we yell at them all the time. So neither her nor me would ever let you do something wrong, but there's other things, orchestras, chamber ensembles, etc., etc. If you start wrong, it becomes a habit. But if you remember to do what you just did every time you lift your violin, it will become a habit and you will forget what it is to do wrong. And my life will be even easier teaching you. Do you understand? I never teach two students exactly the same, and I never tell them how much to practice. I push everybody about the same, but they all play in the different speeds. Do you understand? Give me your glasses. Do you have one of these?
I don't think so.
I'll try to get you one. This is a microfiber wipe. Makes seeing much easier. Okay?
Okay.
Better?
Yes.
Alright. Before you leave, remind me. I was cleaning up my room across the street and I found a couple of little wipes that came with glasses, okay? Alright. I think they came with lenses. Setup is good. Did you practice your scale?
Yes.
Show me. not bad. What was your main goal when you practiced that scale? Mm.
To do fingers.
Pardon me?
To do long bows.
To do long bows. Yeah, you have very unique child right there, because her mind always goes in a not a beaten path. I haven't heard that answer in a very long time. People usually, you have to play notes in tune. Yeah. That's important, of course. There are a couple of things that you're forgetting, and some of them you will be able to fix soon, and some of them will take forever, and some of them you will fix and forget because it's just sort of a minor imperfection there, and some you will be thinking about for the rest of your violinistic life. When you climb in the positions, do you still remember how high do you go? Which position is in the top of that scale?
10.
Yeah, extension into tens. You actually shift into the nines and extend yourself into the tens. Absolutely correct. Now look. Stay. This is your first position, right?
Yeah.
This is how long your string is in the first position. This is your tenth position. This is how long your string is in the tenth position. It's like twice shorter. Do you need to do something about it or not? Let's make an experiment. I'm sure you have never seen this before. Hold the violin up. Let's do the discovery tour. No, you will play. I want you to put your bow here, and I want you to relax your shoulder and make it heavy, and make it as loud as possible right here. Heavy and move fast. Make sure not to hit the body of the violin with your finger. I do not want it to be hurt. Go. Very nice. Now put it right here and do the same. Do you see it's kind of flimsy? How about we press even more here? See, it really doesn't sound good, and you have to release the pressure. Do you see this? I actually want you to do that. Go. Press hard and do it here. Right. And now put it right here. Put the hair flat. Press really hard and go. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
You see? And we only moved a little tiny bit on a very long string. When your hand goes up and up and up and up, and the string gets shorter and shorter, what do you need to do, child? I bet you will never answer that. You have 15 seconds to think. You have to move the bow closer to the bridge. See? When we're here, it's okay to play here. When we're here, it's not, because it becomes in the middle of the string and there is no sound here. See? If I play here, no sound. See? Same movement. But if I move the bow here, do you understand?
Yeah.
So what did you just learn? The higher you go, the what?
The more you move toward the bridge.
Only not in the left, but in the right? With the bow. Correct. And you also can do this. You can flatten the hair to increase the friction. Do you know that word?
Friction, yes.
What is it?
It means sort of like tension.
Well, yeah, the surface of the scratch. Give me your hand. See? I could do this, or I could do this. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Now we go palm to palm, right? A lot of point of contact, and here, not so much. And understand?
Yeah.
All right. So, more hair and closer to the bridge as you climb into the position. Now, have you ever in your life practiced the scales with a metronome?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Prove it. And I will give you the homework that I usually give to the Asians. According to my friend Hegene, Asians can't count. And I also had one of the parents who's a college professor once exclaimed, "My 25-year-old students cannot play 3 against 2, so I make sure that I never have a student who can't." 1 click equals half of the bow. Does that make sense to you, child? Let's go. I want the scale with a turn, and your elbow is a little bit too low. Shoulder blades down, but the elbow here, so the strings are parallel the ground, and elbow not too low, because you don't need to, because your shoulder is down now, right? Go. Good girl. Watch her shoulder blade. She's still doing this a little bit, and she's trying incredibly hard, and I appreciate that, and I want to push her forward, but we need not to let her get tense as she's trying so hard. You stop coming to the frog, you lazy bum. Get to the frog. Right. Okay, good. As it gets higher, it gets harder. Now play 2 notes per bow.
What's the speed of that?
60 per half of the bow. It's standard. Many youth orchestras around the country actually require that. My own practice is 42, but until they get longer bows, 60 is just fine.
Okay.
Let's go. Stop. I ask you to play 2 notes per bow. Bow stays exactly the same. Remember that dot in the middle? It's a second click. Fingers, the lazy sausages right here, have to move twice faster. Go. Right. It's okay, you will learn it. You will learn it. And now I want you to do 4. As far as you can make it. Let's go. Always check. Always the shoulder blade down. Relax right here and hang on the sound. Play heavy and play loose. Then you could play for hours and you will not get tired. Go. Good. Tell me, what happens with a scared person? Boo! What happens to this? She says, I'm not afraid of you. What happens to us when we're scared? We shrink. We go. Right? Same thing happens to the bow. You're starting to play something scarier and your bow shrinks. I want you to keep exactly the same bow and just move the fingers different. Go. Relax. Exactly, that's exactly what I wanted. Stop. That is exactly what I wanted. And when you practice, please understand, everybody who's working hard makes mistakes. Don't be afraid of mistakes. But do not just correct them and go. Try to know them and to avoid them. Do you know what target practice is? No. We will do this in the piece, but you can do it everywhere. If you made an error of any kind, you missed a shift, for example, right? And you know that you did. You have to repeat it 5 times on a roll perfectly. Not 4, not 3, 5. And if you did 4 and the 5th one is bad, you wipe out and you start again. There's something going on with our brain and muscle memory. If we can do it 5 times and we're perfect, we remember. If we don't, we forget. Okay? And then you come back to the same mistake again and again, and it's a waste of time. Some of my most successful students did not practice too much, but practiced incredibly smart. All right? I'm in a couple of days having dinner to say goodbye to one of them who's leaving for China next day, and she just graduated from UC Berkeley, and she will be a famous scientist, I believe, and she's a brilliant violinist. And the other one is on a full scholarship at Eastman right now, and they were friends. Okay? Let's go. 3 notes per bow. No, not the piece, the scale. Drop that shoulder, but not the elbow. Don't be scared, child. No one can do it on the first try, but I want you to try anyway. Okay, wait a second. I want to play 3 notes per bow, and your bow is... Do you hear that? Your bow is 1/2, 2/2, 1/2, 2/2. But I want to play 3 notes. Da, 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 da. Put the violin down and sit down on that chair. I will show you something.
Yeah, she knows how to do that, actually.
She knows?
Yeah.
Excellent. Then why doesn't she? Sit down.
I think because she's trying so hard to do your position
Yeah,
and
I
your
know.
bowing that she's.
I understand that.
You
but
understand?
She's an extraordinary brain, so why don't we?
Yep.
Can you do this for me? Yeah. Together. Ta 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 ta. And now, as you do this, I want you to count for each hand. Watch me first. We will first do the right hand. 1, 2, 3. Say it. 1, 2, 3. 1. Messy child. Come on. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. You do it. 1, 2. Perfect. And now the other one. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Do it. 1, 2. Alright, get the violin and let's try it. This is our metronome. And this is our tempo. Do you hear it? I'll play piano with you, and you will play violin, and let's try to survive. You do not have to succeed it. Because as I said, this gentleman told me once that his 25-year-old college students can't do it. But nobody in my class is like that 25-year-old, okay? Sooner or later you will learn it. Better sooner. Let's go. Ready? And... Good. Right. Remember, stop. Remember. The hardest thing about the violin is multitasking. I do believe that you have extraordinary brain, and I'm pushing you a little bit farther than I would normal 9-year-old. Do you understand what multitasking is? That's when different parts of the brain that normally never work together do work together simultaneously. That makes you an extraordinary superhuman. They did check my brain activity. When I play violin, my brain is 8 times more active than an average human being. And otherwise, when I stop, it's average, it's normal mind. Just, I wish I would be a genius, but no, my IQ is very high, within the 5% of Americans. But other than that, it's all violin. It makes me think faster and cleaner. Okay? All right. Do you understand what I want you to do? And I want you to play strokes, remember? Did you do Martha for me? You forgot. She's just smiling. She's learned immediately. Most of them just do this. And, disarm. Do you remember what Martha is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's when you press your bow down.
Show me. On the scale, Martha. We don't play it at the front here. Let's go into that part. Go. Very good, but it has to stop right away. Bum and stop. Bum and stop. Go. You're stopping for too long. The stroke is excellent, but you're stopping for too long. You're doing for me. I don't want this. I just want. You know what martelo means? Hammering. Bang! And you're like, that's. No. Your hammer is like made from an egg. You break an egg and it's gooey. Yuck. Let's go. Scale. This part of the bow. Shoulder. Go. Stop. Bum. Bum. Bow. Finger. Bow. Finger. Whatever tempo you choose. I don't care. But fingers come right in between the bows. That's another way to push your brain even stronger. Go. I don't hear the bite. I want the bite. Bite. Go. Better, but keep that shoulder blade down. There you go. Again. Okay. Need to practice that. I want it as short as possible, as loud as possible, and as relaxed as possible in between. Bite and chill. Finger falls down. Bite, finger falls down, and no pressure in the left hand whatsoever. Okay? Alright. So, you're going to do the scale, you're going to do slurs up to 4. Whether you can do 3 or not, it's up to you, but keep on trying, and I suspect that your ambitious mama will help you to succeed. Okay, now we have May what today, child?
May 24th?
25.
No,
May
25th.
25. Okay. Scale. Good. Well, it's here. Yeah, I wrote here that I want you to do the martelé. It's fine, don't worry about it. Make sure that you do it next time, because I want you to do more strokes, but martelé is the first one. So I will use the same statement, whole bow, but not one note per bow, but 1 through 4. Understood? And I want it to be with the metronome. With metronome at, do you know that sign?
Yes.
Good. 60 equals 1/2 of the bow. Makes sense? Smart kid. Every time at the frog and do bunny. What happens when you're set up sometimes, your thumb slides a little bit in between the second and third finger. It's not just you, everybody has this problem. Every single person who plays violin. We have to remind ourselves always that this is the balance, and this finger needs to control the bow here. If the thumb is there, this control is gone.
Right there.
Correct. So the middle of the second finger does the bunny nose, not the third one. Okay, good. Martelé. And I will put in the brackets fingers in between. Are you clear on this so far?
Yeah.
Go around about the violin, you kind of did, but I will leave it just in case. Alright? And keep shoulder, what?
Right
Yeah. Shoulder. In the brackets, blade. Down. Remember, whenever you try something super hard, you get a little bit, no, I'm gonna make it. I know I can, but I don't want you to do it like this. I want you to do it like that. Easy. Okay? Let me show you for a second something. know, you'll
Yes,
see.
it is.
You're so smart, it's annoying almost. Okay, I wanted you to see a little video. Let's jump forward a little bit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Do you know what this is? It's Tchaikovsky Concerto Last Movement. It's absolutely crazy and impossible to play.
My sheep, it's impossible.
For her, it is possible. This is one of my Crowden kids.
Yeah?
11 years ago. She was this one. She doesn't know what it is to play wrong or difficult. She can play anything.
Nice. Send us a link. We'll listen to it in Texas.
Go to my website. Most of my students,
Oh, okay.
not all of them, but many of them will be here. There. Do you understand?
Yeah.
She's relaxed, she's chilled, and her huge problem right now, she's having an argument with my kids because for the last 6 years, she and my children play quartets together. And they can't decide on the name. And I want to put it in the program for the first time. And she's right in between. My daughter is now 15, this kid is 14, and my son is about to turn 13 in a week.
Mm.
Yeah.
Violin also?
And viola, and spectacular. He
Yeah.
is spectacular. And they play quartets, and they play on a serious level. Like they play Razumovsky. Now they work on 132 Beethoven. They played Mendelssohn F minor. They played. But
I want to get a quartet for Ella.
she
This
should
is,
have one.
you know who I want is maybe a Rushi. Crowden cellist. Maybe a Rushi.
I thought your daughter plays cello. Is she not good?
She does, but she's 13.
So
So she could play with her. She could. But
this one will grow fast. I will push her as hard as I can, but please don't freak out about it. It's okay if it takes time. It's okay if you make mistakes as long as you know what you did wrong and you will correct it. Alright? No speed limit in learning. But avoid mistakes and avoid hurt, most importantly. If you play fantastically, if you come and play for me all the scales perfectly in tune and fast and beautiful, but your shoulder up, it's not good for me. Understand? Okay. Do you think I like technique?
Yeah. Sure.
I told Anne Krenitsky, you know, the conductor. once,
Who?
Anne Krenitsky.
No.
She was the Honolulu Symphony conductor. Now she conducts the San Domenico Virtuoso program and MSYL. I told her that I don't like technology. She had to sit down. She laughed so hard. But I actually don't. I'd rather work on chamber music with you or concertos. But I need to make sure that you are set like that girl that I showed you. No mistakes. Technical. Then everything is just your heart. Let's go peace. Okay. Remember, I don't want to look at the world between your violin and neck. Yeah. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, don't stop. Yes, go on. You know what that means, right? Pom, 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 pom. The sticks represent beats. So you go. 1, 2, ready, ready, and. Go, 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 go. Keep going, keep going, keep. Go on.
Okay.
Don't worry, you already have done more than I've ever seen on the first lesson. I'm already impressed. Go. Stop. Stop, stop. Right. I prefer shifting in the first finger here. It doesn't have to be, but I think it's better, and you could use a little schmaltz there. You know what that means? Just a little emotional slide. Bunny nose, yes, very important. Bunny nose, let's go. Beautiful sound, keep it. Don't rush. No. Here is the secret. Watch. As you play this guy with the third open finger, right? I want you to prepare this note and to vibrate. I want you to vibrate that note right here. Do you know what this is? Thank you so much. My students tease me. They say that the hearts that I draw looks like butt.
But we make hearts for vibrato too.
Yeah.
Right, so this is what I want. Let me show you. No, but
I think I know like a technique where someone does vibrato, like if they have an open string, they do vibrato.
What are you doing here? You already know everything. Right, but you also prepare yourself for the next octave in tune, and your crescendo will be. Do you understand what I mean? Understand? Yeah. Let's go from here. You know, you are almost impossible to get mad at. Almost. Go. Good girl. Open is fine. Open is fine. Go, 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 go. Yeah, go on. Down, 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 down. No, stop.
I don't
Pardon me?
know.
What did you say?
I don't get this. I didn't get to this part. Well,
Do you never practice this part?
I practiced like that part,
Okay.
but I did it really slowly.
So what you, it's fine. What a mistake that you did, you slurred these two notes and they're not slurred. So this chord is down bow.
I keep on making that mistake.
That's why I'm marking it in red. And the Burialar starts down, up, down. Try this and you can play in whatever tempo you want, but please make sure that your violin is to your neck, shoulder blade down, and nice and heavy bow. Roll before the bow. Yeah, that's a sound. Yeah, let's go. Now, go, child. Wait a minute. Let me see. That's wrong. Actually, what happened that you need a slur here, and this is all wrong. I'm going to fix it later.
That's why I keep on making my slow.
I know. Try. Now it all will work out. Go. Watch this, right? And this down with the shoulder blade down and heavy, powerful sound without extra effort. Effortless, powerful sound. Go. And you know what? Yeah, tian para tam. Yeah, there's two notes on up bow. It's exactly like this. They just forgot to put the slur here. Let's go. Violin to the neck. Let's go. Relax that shoulder for me. Thank you. Open. Okay. Who wrote this A here?
I think you.
I never touch anything.
Yeah, you
She
did.
does. Some ghost.
You did it.
I don't want names of the notes here unless it is absolutely necessary. And I don't like fingers on every bar, and I mean on every note. But
I think we were just looking for patterns, I think, or something.
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. But why don't we do this?
String crossing.
See, 0 here, and we will put here 1. Go again. Check the violin to the neck, check the shoulder blade, and play heavy with a relaxed hand. It's amazing how much I could teach you in such short time. Don't overburn. Go. Right, go on, stop. Do you see this? Go for it. That's okay. It's okay. You have done more than I've ever seen people like you do with that piece, so don't worry about it. Everything now is extra bonus. Relax, 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 relax. What's holding the bow now? What is holding the bow?
My hand.
No, it doesn't. See, the bow is still there, and I'm not really holding it. What's holding it? The string is holding it. Yeah, so stop squishing the bow. Allow the string to hold it. Go. Right there. And put the weight of your arm into it. The whole arm into the sound. Go pom. Yes. Okay, good. Remember, we never play on inner edge of the hair. There is a very specific stroke that when used very, very, very seldom. Like when we play Death and the Maiden, Schubert, we use that edge. But it's a little while before you will play Death and the Maiden. Driver from here right one more time. Heavy right here, just above the middle. Go. Taradim, pararam. Long bows. Go. the bow back here and play it heavy. Go. Pa-da-dee-da-dee-da-da, right there. Good girl. The first note, right. 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 Go on. You're doing good. Go on. Now that's a C. Go. Here. G. Yes. Go on. Yes. Down bow. You do the same thing as Sean did. He also played it down. I like it down and up. I like it sostenuta. I like it like not nothing wrong with it, but I. Okay, it's very hard for me to play on that little violin, but it's easier for you. Very, very impressive work. Very impressive. And I suspect that very soon you will be done with it. And what other concertos did she play?
Suzuki, and then she played
I did a
reading,
reading.
the reading in first position.
The B minor one?
Wait,
Okay, what is
With
that?
Ren,
Right, fine. Thank you. Stop. What others?
only the Suzuki. What is it?
Did she play Vivaldi concertos?
She's just gonna start it.
Which one?
Da, 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 da.
I'm starting that one.
I don't think she needs that one. I'll think. Okay?